All right. Good morning, traders. Let us jump into our setups here. Starting off at the the ALSI yearly high low for the weekly candle picture. We've been able to break down through the 100, meaning we can start looking at this target 61.8. Currently, we're still trading with 8 above 21 above 50, indicating that the trend is up on this time frame. However, if we look at our stochastic, it has broken down through its own signal line, which is the first sign of a change in momentum to the downside. So that is nice and reassuring, paired up with this breakdown through 100 as we push down to this target.
Awesome, we've jumped there in a monthly highlight. So currently back inside that consolidation area. We have that huge gap this morning, and we're starting to push back inside the consolidation area. 38.2, our current level of resistance. 23.6, our current level of support. If you look on the moving averages, 8 and 21 has crossed this today, basically. So 21 is currently above 8. Let's just see where this candle closes at the end of the day to see if we can get that moving average crossover confirmation. We are currently trading below the 50 moving average. So everything with the moving average is indicating the trend is down. If you look on the stochastic currently below its own signal line, looking towards crossing that 50 and 38.2. So let's see if we can get that. But for now, trend is down.
All right. Here on our weekly high low, hourly picture, massive gap down. We don't have any real levels. We can start looking at a long, possibly only above 61.8. Target will be the 127, and there'll be no first target in this case. And the stop will just be sort of about halfway here. 8 is below 21, below 50, indicating trend is down on the hourly time frame. Looking, you can see a little bit of an ABC here, A, B, C, finishing below that low B, so that does check out. So we could start looking for a bit of a reversal over here. Watching our stochastic, if it breaks out through our signal line, that will be first indication. And it's going to take a while before these moving averages catch up. This is such a massive gap down. So not really much we can look at here on the hourly picture.
Jump in daily high low. Currently, far below that minus 161. No real levels of support and resistance on the daily high low. Looks like we are currently batting with that 38.2 of the monthly and minus 161 of the weekly on the bigger time frames. If we look for any long size, only candle close above minus 161.8. Break previous candle high, we aim for that minus 127. If you look on the moving average, just 50 is currently above 21, above 8. That's indicating trend is down, but we can see we are starting to look as if we want to go a little bit higher there. So let's see if we can get that moving average crossover. If you look on the stochastic currently above its own signal line, but still below that 38.2. So let's see if we can break those levels of 50 and 61.8 for that moving average crossover confirmation.
All right, and then just take a look here at our opening range. We are getting that as a valid trigger long, except risk reward there is completely out. So I wouldn't actually take it, but it is valid in terms of candle close, break previous candle high. So with that, trading above 61.8 on the 5 minutes, we can see, as you're mentioning, 821 starting to curve around to the top side. We could be looking at beginnings of a change in trend, especially if we can get the follow through all the way up. Basically, once we hit 89, we'll be running out of targets, but as long as we're holding above 50, that will be great.
Awesome. The DAX yearly high low. Huge red bearish candle there. Currently finding that 23.6 as support, 11 as support and 23.6 as resistance. That 11 is a target level, getting very close to that. Let's see if we can hit that. If you look on the moving averages, 50 is currently above 21, above 8. That's indicating trend is down. Also on the stochastic currently below its own signal line, and stochastic below that 11 level. I'd really like to see the signal line to follow through to see if we can get that 11 target.
All right, onto the daily high low, daily candle picture for the monthly high low. I've labeled my resistance here 61.8, negative 161.8, because there is no actual support we can really look at to the downside. We've broken below that support. It's sort of holding at the moment, but we need to give this a little bit more time before we can really confirm that. So just like everything else, no real levels to the downside. Once we do start pushing back up, we can maybe look at a long above -127 to that zero. But let's take a look here. About another 500 points away, so it's going to be a while before we really get that.
Awesome. Look there on a weekly high low, currently also far below that -161. Candle close above -161, break previous candle high. We aim for that -127. That's the only real setup side we have for any triggers. No real triggers for any shorts now. If you look on the moving averages, 50 is currently above 21, above 8. That's indicating trend is down. Also, if you look on the stochastic currently below its own signal line and below the 38.2 level. So everything is indicating trend is down.
Let's take a look here at our daily high low. Currently, it's the same situation. Where's my labels? Oh, okay, here it is. We're going to really look at a long above -161 to that 127. Stop would be about as long as the risk reward is still all right. And yeah, that's the only real setups we can actually look at. You know, on the 5-minute time frame, 8 is below 21, below 50, indicating trend is down. But if you see the last couple of minutes here, we've really started pushing back with a bit of quite a vengeance. Stochastic broke up through signal line, up through 38.2. Break of 61.8 is a trigger long in itself. So watch out for that, and watch out for 50 moving average resistance. But with this massive fall that we've had, our zone moving averages have fanned out quite nicely. So as we trade, pushed back to the top side, we can trade all the way back to these levels. And this 155 takes us all the way to -127. So it's possible to still, you know, we could still get a trigger long up through zero today, even. But it really depends on what happens as we open. So we've got about 15 minutes to go. So let's just jump into the 1 minute opening range. We'll get to in a moment. We have to basically just wait a bit before we get these levels. All right, so yeah, here's my opening range I'm waiting for on the side here, the DAX 5 minutes. Here is in the dark blue, or in the blue thicker line, that's my 5-minute grid. The black thinner line, that's my 1-minute grid. You can see here we're busy pushing up past the 23 on the 1 minute. Next target is 38.2 of the 1 minute. And we've broken up through the 11 of the 5 minutes. So our next target is 23 of the 5 minutes. Before the lows of 1 and 5 minute grid, it's at platform time 7:05 this morning. 1 minute grid takes its high from last night at 23:42, 23:44, somewhere around there. And then the highs of the 5 minute grid come from platform time 9:48 yesterday. Right, and then here we would be setting up for an extension fib, but there's no valid setups for an extension fib. So we're just going to keep this red fib slightly off to the side here. And we do have our ALSI on the side over here getting ready for possible trigger long. So what we're looking for is a 33 stochastic up through 50. All right, so as we're pulling back a little bit, watch for 33 down through 50 for trigger short in the 1 minute. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, waiting for another 3 candles before we can put in our tracement for our extension fib. Here, put the fib in so long, just keep minding another 2 candles to close before we get this to be validated. So it's not a valid extension just yet. I just wanted to measure the retracement so long. Watch a little bit of a channel that's forming between 155 and 89 moving averages. 50 moving averages turning around quite fast here on the 1 minute. We've got a couple minutes to go still.
Looks like we are finding some support of that minus 161 of the monthly high low. Just stuck between those levels now of minus 161 and a 23.6 of yearly.
Definitely watch those. little bit of a separation there, but I don't want to take that one. Not while we're so close to opening. Yeah, that separation is looking much better for that long. But we're still struggling with this 155 moving average. So I'd like to for longs, I'd rather wait till we just break above this resistance to the top side. We also have 50 moving average on 5 minutes coming up here. That can be really strong as well. So I'd rather just wait till we break that as well.
Yeah, and also very close to that 23.6 of the yearly high low.
Yeah, yeah, it can be strong.
Yeah, about 1 minute and a few seconds to go to opening.
Yeah, I'm rather not going to take a trade right now. This extension fib is valid. And break of 100 or break of 0 is a trigger long or short. but so close to opening, I'd rather just be cautious and stay out of it. Right, there we are. We've opened. Oh, sorry, no, not quite yet. 1 minute to go. Moving averages are starting to bunch up a little bit here on the 1 minute, so just be cautious of that. There we go. Now we've actually opened. As I mentioned earlier, watch for these short triggers, longs and shorts above 100 and 0. I'm not going to take them. Watch 50 moving average support here on the 1 minute. We're pushing down there. 33 down through 50. That's just triggered short. Not going to take it as we just opened. Breaking above 155 once again. This is still a valid extension fib. Taking it from the significant high over here on our 155. Sorry, 51.24 stochastic. Watch that 89% retracement for that support. Sorry, resistance. Break of 100 is a valid trigger long, but just watch this 50-moving average here on 5. There we go, pushing up quite nicely above that 50 on 5 minutes as well. We'll delete this extension fib now. Watch 38.2 of 1 minute grid retraced to that level perfectly and pulled back. Five-minute 821 is getting close to crossing over. Indicating trend is starting to shift. There we go. Trend has changed to the top side. We can start looking for possible setups for buy stops. after this candle closes, we can put a buy stop up here.
So we should just be careful of that level. That could be the high of opening range.
Yeah, I see what you mean. That 89 moving average is very strong. Watch for 33 down 350 for a trigger short coming up.
And we might be going back to that 50 moving average.
I've taken that short.
Okay.
Just going to go for the 5 points. Watch the stochastic break up 361.8. Just going to give it a moment.
I saw that in that short with you.
Yo, I'm out, guys. That's just spiked so fast. Now, as you're pushing up, watch for double top. That's also 89 moving average here on the 5 minutes. That's also where our buy stop is at. Just going to raise it a little bit.
All right, GP.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's just 5-minute candle now. Not a bad market, just a bit of a slow market this morning. About
Yeah,
5 minutes
quite.
we still go. Yeah.
Quite big candles. About 50-point candles almost.
Yeah, just be careful in 1 minute when you get to candles like that.
Yeah, it's nice. You see TP's much faster, but yeah, stops hurt.
Yeah. Now, opening range is lovely this morning. First target is almost 170 points away, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be quite a nice one. After this if this current candle closes below this level, we can put in another buy stop. I'm gonna put it in now so long, and then just set up. Just so that we get getting ready so long. All right, there we are. Put enough candle to close below that level. Just going to put this insert on. Taking it. So no, sure 5 points.
We are starting to
Yeah.
approach that. We are starting to approach that minus 161 of daily.
Yeah. As we get closer, I'd like to just be a bit more cautious with these triggers. About another 23 points to go till we get there. Depending on how the candles form, we could set up for one more buy stop before we get to that level. So sort of, let's say if the next two candles close below this current high, I'll take another buy stop. But if we push a little bit any higher than that, I'm going to start getting a little bit more cautious and I'd rather just step out of the next buy stop and then take the next one, the one after. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to turn sound off for a second. Back. Waiting for this candle and the next candle to close before we can put in a buy stop. And I put the buy stop in so long, so put it a little bit higher, so make sure it doesn't get caught. Yeah, that is enough. And then from that high to that 161 is about 14, 15 points. So a 5-point TP should be all right. Just get my levels in here for our opening range. You need to watch 61.8 here. So what I like about this buy stop is that we would have broken, previous candle 5-minute high would have broken 61 of an opening range. We on our way to target of 61, once negative 161 of the daily high low, would have broken 89 moving average on the 5 minutes. So that I'm quite comfortable with this buy stop being where it is. Next 5-minute candles, watch, we're going to get a push. Coming back quite a bit, we can start looking at the possibility of a 33 down through 50 coming up. Let's watch 50 moving average on the 1 minute as we push down to those levels. No setups for an extension fib at the moment. We need to take it from this significant high here. That is where our stochastic hit 100 on our 51.24. And obviously you have to take it from the highest point to the right after that. So I'm going to be taking it from that point there, which is the same as this point over here. So far, a nice 86 point range. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. We need to wait for one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready. Put that in. So keep in mind, you need to wait for this current candle to close before this extension fib becomes valid. I have had a 50% retracement, though, so break of zero. I'd take that short. There we go, watch the short. And I've taken it. Just going for the 5 points and TP. Right, pulling back a little bit here. Going to extend the lows of my extension fib. And trace back to that 50 since then, so this is still a valid extension. Breakup 100 or 0 is a valid trigger long or short. I wouldn't take this short right now as we're so close to that 50 moving average on 1 minute. Break at these highs, I've already got a buy stop in, so I'm not too concerned about that. $8.21 hasn't crossed over quite yet, but I'm very close. But our 11.22 has already started crossing.
On bigger time frames, the only levels of, okay, resistance, we have that 61.8 of opening range. And then just above that is that minus 161 of daily support. Yeah, only thing I can really see is that 50 of opening range, and then below that, that minus 200 of daily.
Yeah, I do need to be careful. I'm going to take this long as earlier when we were talking about it, we saw we have about 14, 15 points. Watch at 89% retracement for that resistance there. Still a valid B for a C down, which, you know, it makes sense, you know, as you find very strong resistance here at 61 of opening range as well. They're 33 down from 50, I've taken it shorter. I'm going to go for the 5 points. Pull back through 61.8. I'm taking a stop on this one.